Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 2012 Cleveland Browns rebuild and changing their history. So, we've been on this little bit of a skid, you could say, over the past few episodes where we've been unbelievably good in the regular season, unbelievably good in the playoffs, but then when it gets time to the big game, the Super Bowl, we lose. And we have become the 90s Buffalo Bills. We have lost, I'm pretty sure, the last 4 Super Bowls in a row. And those are the only 4 Super Bowls we've been in this series. I'm not sure why we keep losing these games, but we do, and it's getting really close to the end of the series. We need to come away with at least 1 Super Bowl so I don't look like a complete and utter failure and a useless waste of space, because that's not what I want to be. I mean, take a look at my Giants rebuild. We won how many in that? 4? 3? I don't know how many. We won a bunch. I think we won 4 out of 5. We won a bunch of championships, and arguably we have a better team now in the Browns series than we did with the Giants. So I don't really know what the deal is, but something's going on where I can't win the big one. So I'm hoping that today's episode changes that, but I guess we'll find out. If you guys going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And let's get into this episode and try to turn our luck around. So this is the roster. It's pretty unchanged since we have no cap room, so you're pretty familiar with it at this point, although we are seeing some progress from DK Metcalf, from A.J. Brown. I'm expecting those 2 guys to take another leap up after this season. The offensive line looks really, really good. We're still on the hunt for a right guard. I missed out on Trey Smith. That's my bad. I should have made it so that I could get him, but I'm stupid. You guys know this. So we still have Taylor Moton. He's not a bad offensive guard. He's very good. It's just there's been guys in drafts in the past couple episodes that we could have used that were better, that could have replaced him, and I just could not find the way to get to them, or I misjudged when they would get drafted. It's a bunch of different things. I screwed it up, basically, is the point. And so we're still, I don't want to say stuck, but we're still having Taylor Moton be our starting right guard. The rest of the offense looks really, really good. And then on defense, I mean, it doesn't get much better than the defense that we have. We have an unbelievable linebacking core. We have the greatest defensive line in NFL history. We have great corners. We have great safeties and great backups to those great safeties. So, I mean, the defense is the greatest of all time. It's the best defense ever. So, there's no reason we shouldn't be in the 5th straight Super Bowl. It's just a matter of, can we win it, is the big thing that we're struggling with so far. But we are coming up on the end of the series, like I mentioned in the intro. So that means only a few more draft classes left to go. And at this point, I don't remember which one we're on. Did we do 2021? Is that the Trey Smith one? Let me check the right guards. Because I think, no, I need to check middle linebackers because Nick Bolton is, okay, so 2021 is the Nick Bolton class. So we need to go to 2022. That is the year that we are on. 2022, we know who's in it. Obviously, I'm not going to go through too crazy, but I will build my board. We don't need a quarterback unless we want to have Zappy Hour. I don't know. Are we feeling Zappy Hour as our backup? Probably not. Running backs, I like where we are with Derrick Henry, but I could be persuaded to a James Cook or a Rachaad White, Brian Robinson Jr., Dameon Pierce. There's a couple guys, Tyler Algier down the board, even Kyron Williams. There's a couple guys in the running backs that could be a nice backup to Derrick Henry. Wide receivers, we're probably not going to be in position for any of these top guys, so I won't even consider it. But Christian Watson, we certainly could be in play for. John Mechie, Tyquan Thornton, even George Pickens, I would be happy about. That's probably going to be it. I really don't want Romeo Doubs or anything. And at this point, we're not really in dire need of a receiver, but we could grab a George Pickens type. Tight ends, I'd like a backup tight end, maybe a Jelani Woods in the 2nd round, or a Jeremy Ruckert or a Kate Otten. I kind of had a spasm there. Kate Otten, or even Isaiah Likely down the board. That could be interesting. Or Okonkwo, excuse me. Those could be good value pickups in the deep, late rounds. Left tackles, I mean, there's always need for backup offensive linemen, even though there's no injuries. It just makes the depth chart look good. So I'd be looking at a Tyler Smith, or a Bernard Raymond, or even a Braxton Jones or Rasheed Walker. Some of those guys could be options. Cole Strange. That's probably going to be it for left guards. It's not the greatest offensive line class in general. I'll put Tyler Linderbaum on there. Right guards, probably nobody that I really like. And then right tackles, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, Daniel Falele, just because he's huge. And then Thayer Munford maybe, but just because he's a Buckeye. Defensive line, we're not going to be in the market for any of these guys. Maybe George Karlaftis if he falls to late first round, but I don't know where he's going to be projected. But that's probably going to be it. And then the right ends, we've got nobody that I even want to consider. Defensive tackles, I'll put Jordan Davis on there. If we do end up getting Jordan Davis, that'd be awesome, but I don't think he's going to be falling to where we're going to be picking in the first round. I guess we could trade up. That's always a possibility, but I don't know. He's really the only D tackle that I like. Left side linebackers, I'll put Arnold Ebiketie on there. I'll put Myjai Sanders, Tyreek Smith, probably nobody else. Middle linebackers, Quay Walker, Devin Lloyd, Troy Anderson, Nakobe Dean. That's probably going to be it for that. Trayvon, we're not going to be in, I was going to say Trayvon Walker, but we're not going to be top 5, so Trayvon's not going to be on the table, but David Ajabo certainly could be. Boye Mafe could be. Who else? Anybody else down here? Malcolm Rodriguez. Meh. Corners. Roger McCreary. Alontae Taylor I like a lot. Cam Taylor-Britt, Martin Emerson. There's some value corners down the board for sure. Cordell Flott. Marcus Jones. Let's see. Who else is down here? Tariq Woolen, absolutely. Deron Bland. Those two guys are going to be huge value. But I've done this before with the Giants where I screwed up the Tariq Woolen pickup and I missed out on him. So I hopefully don't want to do that this time. I'm hopefully going to make up for my mistakes. Free safeties, we're not really in the market for one because we have good backups, but I'll keep some guys on the board just to keep an eye on them. Kyle Hamilton, Petrie, Brisker. I like all those guys. So we'll keep a close eye on them, but probably not going to be taking them. Mainly because we have a good starter and a good backup at both safety spots. So that's going to be my board for this season. And basically, we just need to go out, dominate, get the 1 seed, and go to the playoffs. That's basically all we need to do. So I will see you guys at the end of the year with the results. The season is wrapped up, and there is some pretty big news that we'll get to in a second, but the normal thing that we were expecting to happen did happen. We won the division pretty easily, 14-3. We're the number 1 seed in the AFC, got the bye, and now we're playing the Bills in the divisional round. That's not the unexpected, kind of crazy, interesting stuff. We'll get to that in just a minute. But let's take a look at these stats for the season. I'm assuming everybody played really well, and they did. Johnny Manziel almost had 5,000 yards, 4,900 with 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 74% completion percentage. That is a fantastic season from Johnny Manziel. It's probably not going to win MVP, because they never like to give me the MVP, but that's some very, very good numbers from Johnny Football. Derrick Henry had 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. Aaron Jones even had 14 touchdowns. That's pretty good on the ground from both the backup and the starter. Receiving, Stephon Diggs had 1,500 yards, so he seems to be the favorite for Johnny Manziel. No surprise there, and 18 touchdowns as well. That's got to be up there with Offensive Player of the Year. It's got to be at least close in the conversation, maybe. DK had 1,000 yards with 5 touchdowns. Kelsey had a pretty good year. A.J. Brown had a pretty decent year, but he's not really getting a lot of usage because he's still kind of a low overall. And then on the defensive side of things, Reuben Foster, 113 tackles, no surprise. Kevin Pierre-Louis had 108. Cam Curl, 83. Donald had another fantastic year in terms of just sack production. Clowney had 23 tackles for loss, which led the team. 18 for Donald, 17 for Garrett. I mean, it's the greatest defensive line of all time. There's 3 Hall of Famers on this defensive line. Maybe not in real life, but in this universe, 3 Hall of Famers. Reuben Foster, 9. 7 for Pierre Lewis. Sack leader was, of course, Donald with 18.5. Clowney had 6.5. Garrett had 6. 2 for Foster and Pierre Lewis. 6 picks for Jalen Ramsey is crazy. 2 for Foster and Curl, and one for a couple other people. So that is where we stand in terms of the stats. Now, the thing that I hadn't mentioned yet that I keep teasing, we will get to at after the playoffs, because that's when we can take a look at it. I think you guys might know what it is by me mentioning after the playoffs. But let's play this game against the Bills. I hope we can win. I would assume we would win, and we do 56-38. So we absolutely destroyed the Buffalo Bills, and now we take on the Patriots in the AFC title game for a trip back to the Super Bowl for the 5th straight year, and hopefully, finally, we can change our fate. But the Patriots are the 5 seed. They beat the Dolphins by a lot. Wow. Okay. Brady doesn't usually like to go down to South Beach to play the Dolphins. At least he didn't when he was in New England originally in real life. But they destroyed the Dolphins. And then it's going to be a 1 versus 2, Eagles and Seahawks. This is going to be a tough matchup either way, but we got to get through the Patriots. I mean, they're on their demon time right now, so we got to get through them. Let's see if we can do it. We should have no problem with this, but it's Madden, and it's the AFC title game. 46-27, so we're blowing teams out. That's a good sign. We are going into these playoffs the favorite, and we are living up to that. We are blowing teams out. We put 56 up on the Bills, and we put, 40, what did I just say, 47, something like that, against the Patriots. What did we end up putting on? 46. So, I mean, we put 56 and 46 in the playoffs. I'd say that's pretty dominant. And now we take on probably our biggest rival in this entire series. It is the Seahawks. They are probably the best team other than us throughout this entire thing, even though they might not have won all the Super Bowls. I don't remember how many they've won. I guess we can take a look at the recap, but it's time to jump in and maybe break the curse. I hope. I need it. We need to win at least one, and this is probably going to be our best chance. It is the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. It's going to be a tough matchup, but we lead 7-0. I like that. Seahawks get it back 7-7 into the second quarter. It's back and forth, but we must have gotten a turnover or something. It's 14-7. Seahawks score again. It's 14-14. Ooh, right before the half, we put a field goal up, but the Seahawks score a touchdown. We get a touchdown back. It's 24-21. Seahawks get a touchdown. This is going back and forth. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. 31-28, late fourth quarter. We are wasting all the time, and we've done it. The Cleveland Browns have broken the curse. We are world champions, 31-28. Oh my God. It finally happened. I didn't think I'd ever see the day. I thought we were just going to be in this perpetual sadness and despair, losing every single time we got to the big moment. But it happened. We finally did it. Johnny Manziel is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Stephon Diggs has got a championship. Myles Garrett's got a title. Travis Kelce adds 1. Well, he has more in real life, but he adds 1 in this universe. It's phenomenal. We've worked so hard. We've built up such a good team. We've spent so much money. And it finally pays off with Johnny Football holding the Lombardi. I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I would see the day that Johnny Manziel is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but it finally happened. Oh, you guys cannot tell through the screen how relieved I am. Just the weight that has been lifted from me by winning that championship is crazy. I'm so happy, so glad that we actually pulled it off. I didn't know what I was going to do if we went into the next episode getting very close to the end of the series with no championship still. I had no idea what to do at that point. But it happened. We've done it. Oh, I don't want to say we can coast for the next couple episodes, but I mean, it kind of feels like that. Although, we'll get to the big tease in a second. Stephon Diggs finally gets his ring, and he wins Super Bowl MVP as well. Russell Wilson wins the MVP of the league, so he denies Johnny Manziel the MVP, but Johnny Manziel got the championship. He denied Russell Wilson the Super Bowl. Allen Robinson wins Offensive Player of the Year for the Seahawks, and then Aaron Donald, because he had all those sacks, gets Defensive Player of the Year. Trevor Lawrence and Greg Rousseau are your Rookies of the Year. But I mean, look at this just travesty of all these seasons. 2017, we fell to the Falcons. 2018, we fell to the Panthers. 2019, we fell to the Eagles. That was on accident. I simulated instead of jumping into it. We still might have lost, but still, I messed up. And then last episode, we lost to this Seahawks team, the team that we got our revenge against. So it makes me feel so good that we actually got it back in our 5th try. So yeah, we're 1 for 5, but hey, we got that one, so I'll take it. But now that we've done the recap, let's move to the re-sign period, because this is where the tease comes into play. So you guys know how I have been using the unlimited money glitch, the free money glitch in Madden, where if you restructure contracts, you can free up millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to re-sign players and not lose them. The downside to that is you completely destroy your cap for future free agencies. So you have like no cap space. So if you go down this road, you can only bring back players that are in need of new contracts, and you can only draft new players. You can't trade anybody. You can't go into free agency. So I recommend not going down this path, but I already went down it in both the Giants series and in this series, so there was no going back from that. But now, I'm not saying don't restructure any contracts. You can restructure contracts, just don't go crazy overboard like I did. But saying all that, I think our unlimited money glitch has finally caught up to me, because I went to do my normal thing where I would restructure all the big deals that we signed, the Manziel deal, the Donald deal, the Stephon Diggs deal, everybody's huge contracts that we re-signed over the past couple of episodes, and it finally came back to bite me. I couldn't restructure a lot of those big money deals, and that made it so we're going to lose Reuben Foster, Fred Warner, A.J. Brown. No, we're not going to lose A.J. Brown because we can accept his option. And there was one other guy that we can accept the option. Oh, no, it's just A.J. Brown. Okay, but we're going to lose Travis Kelce, T.J. Watt, Fred Warner, and Reuben Foster, because, as you saw, I had negative $276 million, and when I went during the season to the salaries, I could not restructure some of these big deals. Now, I did manage to restructure for Myles Garrett and Ryan Ramczyk. They were the other two huge names that were in need of new contracts for this season. So I was able to restructure enough money in contracts to get those two guys back. But I'm not going to be able to get back Foster or TJ Watt or Fred Warner or anybody like that. We're going to have a huge hit to our linebacker core. But luckily we have Nick Bolton and we have Kevin Pierre-Louis still, so we're still going to have a decent linebacking core, but we're going to lose some heavy hitters in the middle linebacking spot. It's unfortunate, but I for some reason they wouldn't let me restructure some of these deals. I don't know what it was. Like, I can't restructure Johnny Manziel's deal, even though he still has 3 years left. I couldn't restructure it. Maybe there's a limit on how many times you can restructure one deal in the lifespan of that contract. But it's not happened. I went through all these guys and I couldn't restructure their deals. So unless they let me restructure the Myles Garrett deal now. Oh, I can restructure the Myles Garrett deal after I just signed it earlier this season. That's a little bit of a cheat code right there. Let me find Ryan Ramczyk. I don't think this is going to be near enough money to restructure or to sign Reuben Foster. Maybe it'll be enough to resign TJ Watt. But that only brings it to 260. Yeah, I can't make any offers. I can't do anything. So we are going to lose some pretty big names. Reuben Foster will be gone. Fred Warner will be gone. TJ Watt will be gone. Travis Kelce will be gone. James Washington, Philip Lindsay, all these guys. All these guys are going to be gone this season because I ran out of money. It finally caught up to me. But luckily for me, we got ourselves a championship. So I squeezed every little bit out of those guys before we lost them. I really needed to re-sign Ryan Ramczyk because we have no option at left tackle other than him. So that was one of my main concerns about getting him back. But the offense is going to stay pretty much intact, except for we're obviously going to lose Travis Kelce, so we're going to have to find a new tight end option unless we want to go Albert O, which is a possibility, but it's just obviously not going to be as good as Travis Kelce. And then on defense, our linebackers are going to take a big hit. We still managed to keep Blake Martinez. We have Dre Greenlaw. We have Deion Buchanan. So we have some backups. They're just not obviously as talented as Reuben Foster, as TJ Watt, as Fred Warner. So we're going to lose some big names. It's going to hurt, but we still should be fine depending on what we do in this draft. It's all going to come up to what this draft is. So I'm going to reluctantly hit this ready to advance button, and we can say bye-bye to some very talented defensive players and obviously Travis Kelce. But Travis Kelce is getting a little bit older at this point, so we can go into free agency and see where they're going to sign. So Reuben Foster has 11 offers. Kelce has 3, but he's 32 at this point. I will simulate a period, and I want to see where these guys are going to go. So let's advance to the next week. We need to find out where our homeboys are going to end up for the end of this series. Because whoever they sign with is probably going to sign them to a long enough deal where it'll take them the end of the series. Because we're only going to go a few more episodes. We're not going to go past 2024, and we're already into the 2022 draft. So our guys have signed. Reuben Foster is a Saint. Okay, Reuben Foster is a Saint. TJ Watt is a Dolphin for 2 years. Foster signs a 4-year deal. Sam Darnold's a Bear. Who else did we lose? We lost Fred Warner, but he doesn't seem to sign just yet. No, it's just Van Der Esch. Fred Warner's still on the table. He's got 14 offers. He hasn't signed yet. Where did Kelce sign with? Travis Kelce is still available as well. So he's still mulling over some offers. We'll simulate another week. I could just simulate to the free agency recap, but might as well see it in the moment, see who they sign with. Let's figure it out. All right, free agency period number 3. Signed players. So Travis Kelce is a New York Jet. Very interesting. And then Matt Ryan's a Bengal. And then Fred Warner signs with the Bears for 5 years. So all of our players signed with different teams. They didn't sign with the same team as another former teammate. Everybody signs with a new team. And we've got a little bit of competition. Fred Warner, Travis Kelce. Actually, Fred Warner signed with the NFC team. So Travis Kelce signed with the Jets. Very interesting. I don't know how that's going to help them out in the future in these next couple of episodes, but that is those are some big losses for us. That is for sure. That can't be understated how big some of those names, or especially the Fred Warner one, or the Reuben Foster one. That was one that I really didn't want to have to lose, but I needed a Ryan Ramczyk more than I needed Reuben Foster. And I came to that conclusion because we had Nick Bolton here. If we didn't have Nick Bolton, I probably would have prioritized Reuben Foster. But I mean, the linebacking core looks manageable, but it still doesn't look fantastic. We're going to start Deion Buchanan over top of Dre Greenlaw, even though Dre Greenlaw probably could perform better. But I mean, it's a serviceable linebacking core now, but it's certainly not as dominant as it once was. But I'm just happy that we got our championship. If we would have lost a 5th straight Super Bowl and then lost those guys, I would have been unbelievably mad. I would have been so confused on what to do, what direction to go in, because I wouldn't know where to go at that point. As far as the draft goes, we probably have not that many picks this year. I did put some stuff on George Pickens. I don't know if we're going to be in that particular market. I did scout Bernard Raymond just in case we were to lose what's his face, Ryan Ramczyk. But now that we're not losing him, I mean, we still could go for him, but we'll see where we are. We're probably going to need to focus on defensive line, or not defensive line, on linebackers. I'll put one on Jordan Davis. We know how good he's going to be, but I just want to put a little bit more on him. I did use one on Quay Walker. That could be a little bit interesting of an option. I'll probably put one on Nakobe Dean. And then I'll put one on... I probably want to finish Quay Walker, right? Yeah, I think I want to use it on Quay Walker. Maybe Arnold Ebiketie. I'll do Arnold Ebiketie. I could have finished Quay Walker there, but it's fine. We'll see where the mock draft has everybody going. Trayvon Walker, number 1 pick. Ike Ekwonu, Hutchinson, Thibodeau. Jordan Davis at number 11. We're not going to be in play for that. That'd be a waste. Let's see. Tyler Smith at 20. Quay Walker at 21. Karlaftis at 25, but we don't need Karlaftis. Oh, we don't have our first round pick. Or did I pass it? Did we trade up? No, we don't have our first round pick. I must have traded it for something. What did I trade it for? Why do I never remember these moves that I make? I never remember these moves. Draft picks. I don't have my first round pick. We have a second round pick. 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7. Oh no. I don't remember what move I made to make it so that we don't have our first round pick. Oh, that changes things. Because I don't want to trade into the first round, but we're not going to get anybody good in the second round. Oh no. Okay, I did not realize that I made that move. I need to stop doing that, or at least I need to write it down so that I can remember that I made these moves, because Future Juice is always in trouble. Future Juice never remembers what moves I make, what moves Past Juice makes. The Raiders take Trayvon Walker with the number 1 pick. Ekwonu goes 2. Hutch goes 3. Lions get Thibodeau. Evan Neal. Charles Cross. Zion Johnson. Garrett Wilson to the Jets. Look at that. Drake London to the Chiefs. Sauce Gardner to the Bucks. Jordan Davis Panthers. Traylon Burks to the Ravens. McDuffelbag goes to Washington. Kyle Hamilton Bengals. That'd be a nice pickup for the Bengals. Deontay Wyatt goes to the Rams. Packers get Kenyon Green. Jermaine Johnson to the Giants. Chris Olave to Denver. Devin Lloyd to the Cardinals. Tyler Smith to the Falcons. That would have been a nice pickup. Quay Walker. So the draft board is pretty much going the way that I expected. I'm going to simulate to our next pick. We're not going to get anybody good. I don't even know who's going to be on our board. So there's a couple running backs, but we don't need to take a running back at this spot. Oh, there's no left tackles that I want. I mean, we could grab Nakobe Dean here, but even some of the guys I was looking at are gone. Martin Emerson is interesting. There's Tariq Woolen and Deron Bland. I think this is Nakobe Dean pickup. We need to grab ourselves another middle linebacker. He is only normal development. That kind of sucks, but at that point, there wasn't really any other options for us. And I'm hoping that Woolen... I probably should have taken Woolen at that pick, because I guarantee you he's not going to be here. And he is. Okay. So we'll take him now. I'm not going to make a mistake and not draft him. So 98 speed, 96 excel for Tariq Woolen. That's kind of crazy. And then in the 4th round, if Deron Bland is there, I'll take Deron Bland. But we're not going to be getting anybody that's going to make crazy impact, I don't think. We'll go to our picks. Deron Bland is available, so we'll grab him. 2 pretty good corners. I like that. I mean, we already have pretty good corner depth, but I've wanted Tariq Woolen in a bunch of different rebuilds, and I've never been able to get him. So it's just been kind of frustrating to not be able to have him. But now we do. And now we are here at a weird spot. I think I'll take Kyren Williams with this pick. Normal development, 90 acceleration, though. That's not too bad. And now we have a 7th round pick. I don't even know who to grab here. It's the final pick of the draft. It's Mr. Irrelevant. Reed Blankenship is on the board, but we're not in the market for a kicker, or we're not in the market for a free safety. So I think we take Cade York with this pick. I don't know if we need a kicker, but might as well make the young man Mr. Irrelevant. He's normal development with 99 kick power, though. Okay. I'm not mad at 99 kick power. We got a 72 in Dean, an 83 in Woolen, a 75 in Bland, 65 in Williams, 74 in York. Best players in the class were Sauce Gardner, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Dameon Pierce. We're getting into the draft classes that whoever made the draft classes kind of boosted the overalls a little bit. It is what it is. But the next couple draft classes, you're going to see some pretty crazy overalls for rookies. But I didn't make the draft classes, so don't get mad at me. And I know I could go in and change all the overalls, but I don't really want to do that. All right, headed into the season as the defending champions, the team looks slightly different. We don't have any depth at quarterback or tight end. Albert O is the literal only tight end we have on the roster. And then on defense, it looks a little strange. Javon Holland has finally jumped Budda Baker for starting free safety. Very interesting there. Cam Curl keeping his spot. Yes, I understand that's not Javon Holland's picture. I don't know what happened. The corners are looking good now. Joe Hayden just continues to fall down the board, but I hope that he retires as a Brown. Defensive line is still fantastic. Linebacking core doesn't look horrible, but it also doesn't look as good as it used to, obviously. I still think that we are a championship level team, probably not as good as we were the past couple of years, but maybe the rest of the team can pick it up. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. We finally got our championship. That really is the monkey off my back, man. I'm so happy that we got that championship. So that's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.